Everybody, I'm Agostino Bruzzone, as probably most of you know. We are here to open the I3M, that is the 18th edition in 2021. We are unfortunately still remote, and I see many faces through the camera. I will use a quote from one of our major very important person in the conference, that is Marco Frascio, that last year was used to say that we are for sure strong enough to feel that we are one year to the other one, despite the fact that we operate through the web. So I feel that this edition seems to be quite interesting. We have a good attendance. We will go through a preliminary overview of all the conference through our speaker. And I would like just to mention, when we try our best to go even live, unfortunately, there was the uncertainty on the situation that is still evolving. As we can see in countries such UK and Israel, they are pretty bad with vaccination. Even Italy is not in a bad situation. It's still a little bit vague. And we was sending even requests to get your feedback during the last months, but unfortunately few people was able to come physically, so there was less than 15 people that confirmed attendance, and so we had to move all in this way. We look for the next year for a new opportunity. We'll do our best, and I hope that with the new evolution of the crisis, we'll be able to deal whatever it will happen. So I told you this is the 18th edition. The first one that I will call to give some view is Professor Longo, if I remember properly. That is a program chair and is since long year active, even despite the point that he was even before to be program chair was very active in promotion of the scientific value of the conference. You know that I3M guarantee you multiple opportunity. The proceedings are online since several years. We are moving back to code everything in order to make it available on the engine. All our proceedings are on Scopus, and in additional, each year there are conference and journals that extract from conference. Best paper to be extended. No, it's not the same paper to be republished, but there are an opportunity for the author to publish an event this year. So maybe Francesco can give you a view about the impact on the indicator, on the engine, Scopus, and journals.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Agostino. Welcome everyone to this 2021 edition of the I3M conference. We are glad to see all of you. As Professor Bruzzone was mentioning, and as you know, our proceedings are indexed by Scopus since several years. Also this year, we do have some international journal special issue. As tradition, we have the International Journal of Simulation and Process Modeling, as well as the International Journal of Privacy and Health Information Management, Food Engineering, and we run again a special issue, thanks also to Professor Solis of the IEEE Transaction of Engineering Management, that is a very high-ranked journal, and thanks to also to Simon Taylor, that will be one of the keynote speakers today. We have added a special issue from the Journal of Simulation. So right after the conference, we will start looking again at the papers and inviting the extended version of the papers to be submitted to this International Journal special issue. Well, you know our publication procedure. We have inserted the possibility for authors to have short papers. This is very helpful because then regular paper like 8-10 page can be directly sent to the International Journal special issue, because we would like to reduce as much as possible the publication time and the publication process. Starting from last year in 2020, we have started the open access format. So currently all I3M articles are distributed according to an open access format according to the Creative Commons attribution license. So this is quite important because you are free to share, to download the article, and I will say something in a few minutes, and to share the article. This is to give more visibility to our I3M conferences. And indeed, if you open if you look to the template of your paper, you will see that we have clearly indicated the Creative Commons licenses as well as the ISBN, the ISSN, and the DOI in order to provide all the information to share correctly your article. And you are free to go on the repository of the I3M Proceedings, and this is the web address. It's a new repository that we have started in 2020, and all the proceedings of 2021 of this edition are already online. So you can go on the repository and you can search for your article. So if you just go in the repository, you will see the I3M 2021 edition. If you click on proceedings, then you will have the proceeding of the EMSS, the proceeding of MAS, HMSS, DHSS, and so on. And you can easily find your article, and you can download it, as well as you can download all the other articles. Within the proceedings, you can download the article, but you can already have full information about the article, including number of page, DOE, and easy access to each conference paper and download of paper. Obviously, we are providing information also to Scopus. So thanks to the DOI, we are now able to have a link within Scopus that go to our online repository. This is to increase the visibility of the article. So people searching your article on Scopus, they will have the possibility to download the article directly from Scopus thanks to the DOI. Indeed, if you search, for instance, currently in terms of DOI, we have covered 2019, 2020, and 2021. So 3 years are already covered with DOI, and we have started to work on 2018. And we will try little by little to go back at least until 2011. So we will try to add the DOI to all the previous edition, and as soon as we have the DOI, this will be communicated by Scopus, and once you go on the Scopus web page, you can click on View at Publisher, and you can easily download your article directly from Scopus. So little by little, again, we are going ahead. So these are I feel the most important information in terms of scientific part of the I3M Multiconference. Once again, welcome to this online edition, and I hope you will enjoy the conference. Thanks a lot. I give the word back to Agostino.
Thank you very much, Francesco. And I feel these are very valuable for our scientists because these make a strong impact of the event, and we go forward step by step. So I hope to solve the issue. The point now is to move to EMSS. EMSS is the oldest event. We have 33 years going with European Modeling and Simulation Symposium. Originally was named European Simulation Symposium, and traditionally at the middle of the 90s refocused a little bit more on application, but it's very highly qualified. We have here the general chair, that is Michael, Professor Affenzeller, that could give us a flavor about how it's going with the MSS in these 33 editions. Sorry, Michael.
Okay, thank you, Agostino. So a very, very warm welcome. Unfortunately, from Austria, as we are still virtual also this year. I would have preferred to be already in Athens last year and also especially in Krakow this year, but we cannot change. but academic life keeps going. So I think somehow we are in a privileged situation that even if it's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, we can keep on doing the things we like to do. And when visiting virtual conferences the last 1.5 years, I realized that those events work especially well, which have quite some tradition and a community. And I think I3M and EMSS also, as one of the oldest conferences there, is a very good example. So if you already know the people for quite a while, for physical events, it's much easier to get this special atmosphere in a conference with exchange also outside the presentations. Keep going on. Thanks also Francesco Agostino for taking care about all the surroundings, as you mentioned, the DOIs, which are extremely important. Recently in Austria, funding agencies started that DOIs are mandatory in list of publications, and it's annoying work to update all the list with DOIs. So it's a great service, as also the good publication opportunities and journal special issues are of great value. Well, I have a problem with virtual events. I don't know if you share the same one. People at the home university start to know that you are not really away, and the calendar fills around the dates which you have not blocked. So it's a different things. You are not really out of daily business, which also makes visiting a conference somehow special. So I really hope that this will be one of our last virtual conferences, and I3M 2022 will be held in presence. Finally, I think 1 year ago we were pretty sure that also this year will be in presence again. Unfortunately, it's not possible, but let's see and let's hope. Concerning EMSS, Agostino mentioned one of the most traditional conferences in the I3M conference series, starting 2007 without any break. Also, I would say one of the more generic events in the I3M conference series has received a lot of high quality publications also this year, which gave us the opportunity to accept 60 papers for publications in the proceedings. And when having a look at the authors and at the titles, I'm really looking forward to the presentations. So thank you and welcome from my side.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much for the achievement that you are in charge for a long time. We are moving to the second oldest conference that was originally a workshop, but Yuri will talk about it. Professor Merkuryev, it's one of the pillars on HMS that deal with marine environment. Marine, it's a very strategic issue. Probably you remember that we have recently such event we had a major event along the last and this year. There was last year the big explosion in Beirut that was very disruptive, moving out in few seconds 300,000 people out of destroying their home due to this big explosion in the port that was totally disruptive. But even more recently, there was the crisis in Suez. We need a simulation for sure to be ready to face this challenge at strategic level. And Professor Yuri Merkuryev will give you, that is currently the general chair of the event since a very long term with me, will give you a feeling about that. Yuri, it's up to you.
Thank you very much, Agostino, for your very nice introduction. So actually, we both, with Agostino, with Professor Bruzzone, are co-chairs of this conference. So, good time of the day, ladies and gentlemen, dear conference participants, colleagues and friends. For many of you, it's morning, but not for all of you. So That's why I say good time of the day. It's my great pleasure on behalf of the organizing committee of the HMS 2021 conference to welcome you at the opening ceremony of the 18th International Multidisciplinary Modeling and Simulation Multi-Conference. As most of you know, HMS stands for International Conference on Harbor, Maritime and Multimodal Logistics Modeling and Simulation. This year, we already have the 23rd edition of this conference, since for the first time it was held in Genoa in year 1999, but in fact it originates even deeper in the years when in year 1996 it has been a part of the European Simulation Symposium, organized again in Genoa by Professor Agostino Bruzzone. So actually this year we could speak about already 25 years of the HMS history. This year we have 10 accepted papers coming from different countries in Asia, Europe and North America. They discuss different aspects of harbor, maritime and logistics modeling and simulation, including, of course, influence of the current pandemic on operation of the related considered systems. The pandemic, as Michael already mentioned, has its impact also on our conference, as far as for the second time it is held online. Let me express my deepest gratitude to conference organizers, especially to Professor Agostino Bruzzone and Professor Francesco Longo and their teams, for all their great efforts and hard work they spent for making this conference running in the current very specific situation. Concluding my short welcome address, I wish you all a very fruitful conference with a lot of interesting presentations and discussions, leading to further exciting joint activities and projects. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much, Yuri. Thank you very much for your very kind words and for the lot of work that you carry out since a very long term in the field. It's big event. We are moving now to 19th edition that next year will celebrate 20 years of MAS. It started just as a small event going between Italy and Brazil, but now it's really international, not more just as workshop, but international conference. Professor Adriano Solis, is a good friend and general chair of the event from York University in Canada, will give in Toronto, is located for people that are not familiar with, will give you, and then the situation of MAS. Adriano.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Bruzzone.
Thank you, Adriano. Go.
Good morning, good day to the entire IIM community. The earlier hope, of course, had been that we would be welcoming conference participants in person, starting at around 9 a.m. this morning in Krakow. But because the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has compelled us to have to again meet virtually for the second year in a row, I'm having to greet all of you at 3:34 a.m. local time here in Toronto, Canada. You will understand, of course, that I had to be up at 2:30 to get ready to welcome you. It is now the 20th staging of the International Conference on Modeling and Applied Simulation, or MAS, which started in 2002. MAS is an annual international forum that has brought together scholars, academics, scientists, practitioners, and students from all over the world to present and discuss the latest innovations and advances in applied modeling and simulation and associated computer technologies. Notwithstanding this year's virtual conference format, the IIM 2021 program lists 29 MAS papers scheduled for presentation. Not quite as many as the EMSS papers, but the 29 papers of MAS, in view of current circumstances, compare favorably with the 2 to 2.5 dozen papers presented each year during the last 3 in-person editions of MAS in Barcelona, in Budapest, and in Lisbon in 2017, 2018, and 2019, respectively, and particularly with the 20 papers in MAS 2020 last year, which we also held virtually. The 29 MAS 2021 papers were submitted by authors from various countries in Europe and other parts of the world. 12 papers had authorship or joint authorship from Italy, 4 from Canada, 3 from France, 2 each from the Czech Republic, Germany, Hungary, and Spain, and 1 each from Austria, Greece, the Netherlands, Sweden, the United Kingdom, Chile and Mexico in South America, Japan in the Far East, and Pakistan in South Asia. The MAS papers this year cover a broad spectrum of topics that span M&S applications in diverse areas, such as the automotive industry, the oil and nuclear fuel sectors, the chemical industry, the forest products industry, the construction sector, soap, detergent, and biodiesel industries, the retail sector, and large engineering companies. The concerns addressed include, among others, design of inbound transport systems, container terminals, or warehouse systems, including marine logistics for chemical plants, and cost-effective RFID for an air cargo handler's warehouse, synchronous logistics in the automotive industry, flexible log yard design in the forest products industry, nuclear power plant training, optimization of oil supply networks, and integration of human cognition in construction operations, not to mention space logistics and moon-based operations, which Professor Bruzzone and his team have been working on. The M&S investigations look into various specific applications of interest, such as, for example, the engineering application in continuous manufacturing of the Japanese art, or is it a science, of origami pattern folding, real-time drone detection using YOLO, which now refers, of course, to you only look once in place of James Bond's you only live once, automation of train routing in a railway node, predicting mechanical properties of steel coils, the activation of cryptocurrencies, the improvement of COVID-19 testing centers using technology, and even re-engineering of the seasoning process for prosciutto di Parma, or the traditional Parma ham. Also addressed our development of a hybrid heuristic algorithm for the so-called traveling salesman problem, and using Unity 3D-based simulation for teaching operations management. It goes without saying that a wide variety of M&S approaches and techniques have been applied in these 29 papers, as participants will learn during the paper presentations. Understandably, these papers will be presented in joint sessions with some of the thematic component conferences of I3M 2021, such as HMS, EMSS, and FoodOps. We thank all the authors who have contributed papers to MAS this year, as well as the MAS 2021 International Program Committee members and reviewers for spending time and effort to read, evaluate, and provide suggestions for improving the quality of the final papers. Our special thanks, of course, go to Professor Agostino Bruzzone, Professor Francesco Longo, and the entire organizing committee and staff of the I3M 2021 Multiconference. On behalf of General Co-Chair Dr. Marina Massei and Program Chair Professor Fabio De Felice, I warmly welcome all conference participants to our MAS 2021 virtual conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adriano. Thank you very much for your very eloquent and complete overview of the situation and for your great effort. And MAS is a very top quality event, and so I feel we strongly rely for it. Thank you so much. So we can move to the next event that we have. I feel that there is IMAACA. No. Would you like that I spend a few words on the DHSS? Okay. DHSS is the Defense Homeland Security Simulation Workshop. We celebrate last year the 10th anniversary. This year we go for the 11th. Last year we was managing in a different way because it was co-located with the event on the NATO CAX Forum, as it happened in the past, even for the World I3M. Maybe we can even consider for next year to create such synergy because they are planning to do, they have a similar problem of us. Even this year, we will present the paper that we have included here in the DHSS, some of them during the NATO CAX Forum. There is this option, we have to finalize it this day. So in case, if you are interested, I will contact me, I will send an explicit email to all the author to make a quick presentation, just a presentation over there in a special session. We will select someone. If you are available, this will be good. I feel that defense homeland security is a major issue, as you know, and for sure modern simulation is crucial in this field and very consolidated. So we had quite good submission this year, because sometimes with the main event that go on defense, the DHSS evolved as a very sharp but not very big event respect that it was maybe during the first edition. Maybe with this synergy on the next year and even with the evolution of this year, we can get good result. So thank you very much. This gives you a flavor of the DHSS. We can move to the next, Francesco. Francesco?
Yes, can you hear me? I just moved to
IMAACA. IMAACA, so there is Professor Loucas that is the program chair of IMAACA. Usually we have here Sergio Junco and Tom Penn that are the let me say the father and the mother of this event that is pretty successful. But this year they was not able to do, but Louca is a very good friend and very fundamental cornerstone of IMAACA. In fact, in the past year, we was even organizing, thanks to his support, the World I3M in Cyprus. There was a very nice event in Larnaca. So I will leave up to Loucas to give you the situation of IMAACA and this year conference. So
thank you, Agostino. Good morning from Nicosia, where I am now. I'm not in Larnaca, unfortunately. So good morning or good afternoon to some of you. On behalf of the IMAACA, the Integrated Modeling Analysis in Applied Control and Automation, I would like to welcome you to the I3M Multiconference. And on behalf of Professor Sergio Junco, who was not able to attend, I extend his greetings and for a fruitful and successful conference. Well, IMAACA, it's been part of I3M for quite some time. We had 12 successful independent conferences. Unfortunately, this year we're not able to have enough paid, so we had to join forces actually with MAS, and we have one session that's under MAS in collaboration with MAS. So it's something that we hopefully is related to the pandemic, and people are not very aggressive in attending virtual conferences. So hopefully, as previous people mentioned, we'll be able to have a real conference. That's, I will call it real conference, which conference for me, physical interaction is a must. So hopefully we can meet in person next year. So I won't say anything more. I wish everybody a good conference, happy virtual interactions, unfortunately. And as Agostino said before, we had the I3M in Cyprus in 2016, if I don't if I remember correctly. So maybe we can meet again in person in the coming years. So with that, I'll wish everybody a good conference. Thank you.
Microphone.
Agostino, maybe the microphone.
So I beg your pardon. So we can move to the medical and healthcare. In fact, we are a little bit overloaded with information about healthcare along these last 2 years. But for sure, in simulation in this field could give a great contribution. So Marco Frascio is our chair, and he will give us a view about what is the potential in this area. That was going the International Workshop for Innovative Simulation for Healthcare, IWISH, that we organized even this year. And this is the anniversary, by the way. This is the 10th edition of these workshops, quite a long time when we started in 10 years ago. So Marco, go.
Thank you, Agostino. Thank you, Francesco. Again, good morning to everybody, and many, many thanks to Agostino and Francesco that are very clever and nice people leading this group of conference, multi-conference I3M. I don't know exactly who decided the name of IWISH, but I never am be able to invent a nicer one. So IWISH is, let's say, is as we think, I have a dream. And the dream this year is, of course, that the next year in Rome will be in presence. So not only me, but we have a dream. About IWISH this year, as in the past years, holistic view of health leads, of healthcare leads to an interdisciplinary field of research, ranging from life science to management disciplines. The increasing computational power of the tight integration of natural and computational sciences opened the door to new paradigms in life science research. Contamination is very important. This workshop aims to bring together scientists from engineering, natural, and life sciences to simulate the discussion on new methods and topics in the emerging field of healthcare. This is IWISH, and now I briefly introduce the topics covered this year in this workshop. The paper covered the main aspect of healthcare, as the key words can attest. Few words. Simulation has, over multiple decades, achieved a remarkable record of improving operational efficiency and effectiveness in many areas, and with the online cooperation, it is essential today for healthcare technological advancement and to speed up the learning curve of trainees. COVID-19 pandemic is one of the growing trends in the number of disasters around the world and draw attention, I'm afraid, to the preparedness of healthcare facilities to this disaster. Simulation could be a very effective tool to ameliorate the human reaction to the war disaster, not only medical, I mean. Virtual reality may be viewed and as a useful tool in enabling knowledge and ability of medical practitioners in protecting themselves and population during the pandemic. The same pandemic obliged to increase and put in place the distance learning. This teaching way has been evaluated by means of survey among students, what they think about e-learning, distance learning, I mean, teaching way. Crisis resources management can be used in many contexts, including emergency medicine, training to obtain the correction in the potential weakness of the medical procedures. Finally, the Internet of Things, IoT, is enabling more and more new applications, especially in the field of biomedical systems. So I think I spoke so much. So now, as IWISH participant, we simulate to be in Cracovia. Welcome to everybody and start up IWISH 2021 workshop. Thank you very much.
Agostino. Okay, maybe there is some problem with Agostino connection, but in any case, we can go easily ahead and we move to CESDE, and I leave the floor to Professor Janusz Sebastian Dianosi, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning from Budapest. Welcome to the workshop of Simulation on Energy, Sustainable Development and Environment. We have definitely more papers this year, and some are very close to the problems I wish to explain. We should have much more. Until the pandemics, environmental questions were a top concern. We are now on the second place on importance, but still very low on sensible activities and efforts. Earlier, I had to fly 5-7 times a year to different parts of the world to do important meetings. The last 2 years, I was sitting at home, doing mainly home office work, still not feeling lost and lost. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry, I had some problem with the internet here. Okay, may I continue then? So, I'm practically, I'm not refueling my car 3 times a month, as I used to do. What politicians and environmentalists couldn't achieve, the virus did. There is an excellent scientist in Hungary, now 85 years old, retired Professor Csányi. His whole life was spent as ethologist studying the behavior of socializing animals, like pack of dogs and of course people. It is commonly known that our sensible needs could be easily covered, but only 10–15% of the global workforce, of course, provided that is used correctly, and the rest of the people have to do work to avoid, sometimes doing futile things to avoid to become aggressive, like believers in radical religions. We have to learn the lesson that we probably can survive not overproducing and overconsuming all the time and still have a joyful life. Of course, it is philosophy, and I want to concentrate to simulation because that's the thing we have gathered here to speak about. The pandemic gave us an unprecedented opportunity. People became deprived of their normal lifestyle and had to accommodate to unusual conditions we never had before. Okay, I had the Spanish flu sometimes, but there were no computers that time. If we have mathematical models of behavior of great number of people called global society, it's time to either identify the parameters of these models and verify and validate them. Now we have the data, unfortunately. I'm not too optimistic concerning the future results. We are not the society used to learn lessons, but we are now able to extend our knowledge, and that is we use simulation for. My former mentor, Professor Zobel, did a very efficient and useful mathematical model of the earthquake on the seafloor, resulting in tsunami after disaster, of course. I do hope that we are having next year interesting studies on how pandemic influenced our societies and economies. Anyway, I wish you a useful, inspiring, fruitful, and valuable conference. Thank you. Could you hear me?
Much, Jan. Hello, thank you.
Thank you very much. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, perfectly.
Sorry, my connection was falling down. Now we have time to introduce Giuseppe Vignali, that is the general chair of ADOPS. It's one of the latest event, but he's still already almost 1 decade, so it's not so younger in terms of event. And the term of food, you know, I'm currently today on going to a meeting with several ambassadors and authority of United Nations today on the food work program, because food is a major issue, water is a major issue that impacts drastically on food. And this kind of use of simulation to improve the way we produce safe, wealthy, and high quality food and distribute is for sure a key point. So Giuseppe, I leave up to you to describe how it was going this year for DOPS.
Thank you, Agostino. Thank you for your presentation and the discussion about the importance of food. And this is the 7th year of this conference. And the issue of food and modeling of food processes is important for the society, even in this period of the COVID pandemic. And this year, in this online edition of the International Food Operation Processing and Simulation Workshop, we want to continue the experience of the last year. And this year, this conference aims to extend the field of application of simulation also to the sustainability of food processing and to the assessment of the logistic performances of a food supply chain. The aim of this initiative is to show the particular nature of the food sector, being able at the same time to use several modeling approaches and show high level of interdisciplinarity. FoodOps offers the possibility to present results and critical issues concerning several applications in food industry, using modeling and simulation as a methodological approach. We received different papers with different topics, some about also microbiology and supply chain management. And even this year, we have the possibility to support a special issue about the modeling and simulation in food processing. Thank you the availability of the International Journal of Food Engineering, which is a very good journal, and this year increased a lot its impact factor. We would like to thank you, the editor-in-chief of this prestigious journal, Professor Don Cheng, who agreed to support again this workshop on this particular field. And based on these peculiarities, we plan to have a section on Thursday about food operation and processing modeling and simulation. And we would like also during the workshop to discuss possible new opportunities for cooperation and joint research project. And finally, we would like to thank you, the program chair of Francesco Longo, for his work and kindness, and all the people organizing this online event. I wish finally to all the FoodOps and I3M attendees a fruitful conference, online conference this year, with the hope to physically meet you again next year in Rome, I think. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Giuseppe. So we can move to the next presentation. We have finished the workshop. In fact, we have even events that will be mentioned now, such as the McLeod and MSNet workshop and special session. But now we go through our organization, society, and networking that promote modeling simulation and the community around the world. And I'm very glad to pass the ball to Marina Massei, that is an institution in I3M, serve even as Adriano was saying, a specific conference in Mass. But Marina will talk you about Liophant. The Liophant is a very specific, particular, original, let me say, society that is affiliated with both Eurosim and SES. They are the two major international scientific organizations in modeling simulation, and is active in promoting many initiatives. And there are even important events for new blood that she will talk about. So Marina, floor is yours.
Thank you, Agostino, and thank you, Francesco, for introducing me. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to I3M 2021. So, as Agostino said, today I'm here as a Liophant simulation representative. Liophant is a no-profit association, a kind of trade union among the simulation developers and users. We promote simulation techniques, methodologies, and we are active in dissemination of results. Also, we support internship, modeling simulation courses. We organize events in order to exchange experiences and practices, and of course, we are also a simulation team member. The Liophant simulation promotes the two I3M awards, the Gianni Cantice Award for Gifted Students and the Norbert Giambiasi Award for Conceptual Modeling Excellence. The first one is entitled to Colonel Cantice for his long activity in simulation and is open to masters and PhD students as an acknowledgement of their promising career. The Gianni Cantice Award winner will receive the award certificate and a free registration for the next I3M conference. The Norbert Giambiasi Award is entitled to our friend Professor Norbert Giambiasi as a recognition of his highly qualified contribution in conceptual modeling in DVS within the international simulation community. The certificate board will select the paper among the best submission on conceptual modeling topic. But first, I would like to thank all the young scientists applying for the award because I've received many applications, and a special thanks goes to their advisors. They provide me a recommendation email along with details on the research activities carried out by their students. So thank you all for taking the time to do that. The competition results will be announced and the award will be handed to the winners on September 16 at 6 p.m. This is going to be a special session. Last but not least, we also support the workshop on applied modeling and simulation that will be held this year in Linz, Austria, the next November. So once again, thank you for joining us. I do hope to meet you all in person very, very soon. Thank you again. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you very much, Marina, for your very nice presentation. I feel this initiative that promote excellence among students and best papers, it's very important in conceptual modeling. Now we have another major institution that was established around 20 years ago when there was some kind of, let me say, confusion about activity ongoing in modeling simulation among different society. But the scientists, let me say, more the scientists than the people of the organization, as Emilio, as Michelangelo, Piera, me, and other one, we decide that Europe should be strong in having space and visibility for the research activity that we carried out. And we have done in strong synergy with North America and to establish this council that is the International Multidisciplinary Council of Simulation. Originally was named, let me say, Mediterranean Council of Simulation. But I leave up to Emilio to talk about it, just to give you some word from Emilio. Is general chair and of EMSS and even past president of Eurosim, and currently is the reference top scientist at the University of Rioja. Emilio.
Okay, thank you very much, Agostino. Well, I want to start thanking Agostino Francesco for introduction and especially for this good work, as well as the rest of organizers of I3M. Well, following the program, before than me was my colleague, Professor Michelangelo Piera, and I would like to present on behalf of him the MISS and the MS-NET societies also, and then I will present the rest one. Well, the MISS is the acronym of the MacLeod Institute of Simulation Science. It's an initiative of the Society for Modeling and Simulation International, the SCS. The name comes from Mr. John MacLeod, the founder of the society and the first editor of the journal Simulation, which collaborates with the I3M also. And the MISS consists of cooperating centers active in professionalism, research, education, and knowledge dissemination in the modeling and simulation domain. The society aims to provide an organizational structure that will serve to integrate and enrich within its centers the activities of modeling and simulation expertise throughout the world. The society involves professionalism, education, research, dissemination of knowledge, and so on. Then the Modeling and Simulation Network, MS-NET, is a worldwide consortium of 14 independent organizations and 34 centers, a young and active network of researchers, professors, practitioners devoted to support the continuous improvement of the field of modeling and simulation. This is another very interesting society that is involved in all these societies and conferences organized around the I3M. Then passing to the rest of the societies, now speaking on behalf of myself, the simulation team is another organization collaborating in I3M. I invite you to go into the Simulation Team website, simulationteam.com, in order to know the people involved, most of us, the partners, projects, etc., and the events in which Simulation Team collaborates, as obviously I3M, but much more events. The Simulation Team was established in early third millennium for leading a pool of high-tech institutions active in modeling and simulation, represents an excellent network involving top-quality international institutions, and simulation team members are able to guarantee an unique capability to develop multidisciplinary models for complex systems. Simulation team is active involved in the organization of several conference. Obviously, the best one, the main one is I3M. Then, on behalf of all those societies that Agostino and Michelangelo Piera through me and I have presented, I would like to welcome all of you to this event, and especially I want to thank again to all the organizers for this event, which in which the success is clear from the beginning. Then, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emilio, for your very good presentation and overview about these situations. And we are pretty active as simulation team. And let me say that I would like to state something important about next year. As was already said by several people, we will do our best for being next year live. We plan to go in Rome. Rome was very successful event in our past of I3M 2011, was probably the biggest conference worldwide, that was for sure the biggest conference worldwide, that we involved over 500 people, combining I3M with the NATO CAX Forum in Ergife, and we will study a good solution even for the next year that could provide even opportunity to enjoy Rome, that is a wonderful location. I mentioned you that we will have special session along these 3 days of conference. We will talk about Strategos. We have established this year new PhD in strategic engineering, strongly related to the aspect of using modeling and simulation. So it's very fundamental, our contribution in this area, and we have a very successful procedure. We was moving, starting just in terms of master science, from 20 to 110 registration students, selected students, over hundreds and hundreds, that in just 3 years. And PhD is going to be very successful together with Gregory and with Emilio and with other universities. We like to have you on board. But we will focus on next year, I3M, that will be in Rome. If you have interest to be active, not only as a contributor of a paper, but as chair, etc., there is a special meeting, a special session. You can look on the program to discuss, but even out of this session, you can write to us and we can try to finalize. So I feel this give you an overview of this aspect. Francesco, do you have any comment, any other comment?
No, thanks a lot, Agostino. I feel that we are very close to the break.
Yeah, I feel we can take our break. And we will start later with the plenary speech. They are very interested, so I encourage you to be present.
Yes, the plenary session will start at 11, so in 45 minutes. Please check the link on the program because it's a different link. So check the link and we will see each other at 11 Central European Time for the plenary session and keynote speaker.
And even Alfredo will be with us as a plenary speaker.
Yes, Alfredo will be one of the keynote speakers.
Gregory too.
Gregory over here
and Simon. I don't see Simon, but maybe just because I don't. But I feel he's there. Okay, see you soon.
See you soon.
See you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. See you shortly.
Peace and love.